What does having a California Christmas reaching #1 on Netflix mean to you?
That's an interesting question that I have actually wrestled with, because it was absolutely unexpected, and I really was in shock. And I was gratified, and I was grateful, and I was so happy to be part of that special holiday season for people. And I was so happy to hear how much they enjoyed it. I've had a lot of success in my life, and I've always kind of had this illusion that there would be a turning point, where I would have this big moment and things would evolve in just this amazingly positive and prosperous way. Like when I won the VMA for Moby, or when Britney blew up, or, when Cook County was in theaters. I've had these moments, and invariably, I've not had the expected results, and I feel like I've been disappointed. And I always kind of, felt like, oh, this is my moment to level up, And I mean, obviously I have leveled up because, I'm doing cooler stuff now than I was then. But we all have ambitions to be beyond where we are. And I've just never fulfilled my hope for that. And so when the movie came out, a lot of people were conflating its success with mine. And they were saying, oh, you must be so happy. You're going to do so well. You're so lucky. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, well, first of all, I have no profit participation in this movie. I got a flat salary, and I will never see another penny from it. But the other thing is, I got to the point where I got really uncomfortable, really emotionally uncomfortable. And I was thinking that, what this is that I am a very humble person, and I'm uncomfortable with compliments and attention and the spotlight. But I'm still going to be grateful and appreciative. I had this girlfriend once, because I was uncomfortable with compliments, tell me, just shut up and let them say nice things, and let them feel good. Don't, because I'd be like, oh no, it's not true. And it's like, well, she said, that's not polite. That's not nice. But anyway, so I let them have their moment, but this dissonance really bothered me. And then I kind of realized later on that I was, in my mind, I was like, I can't get my expectations up with this hyperbole, this overwhelming hyperbole from all these people, because, to hear them say it, it's, going to be all sunshine and rainbows and, limousines and award shows. And I'm just like, that's probably not going to happen. And I can't let myself buy into that, because the come down is really hurtful, and the higher the expectation, the worse the come down. Now, I'm not saying good things aren't going to happen. I mean, good things already have happened, But what I don't want is to get my head so up in the clouds, because those good things will happen regardless of my expectation for them. And I just don't want to have that disappointment. I would rather be pleasantly surprised by, oh, that's nice, than thinking and hoping, and then it's just not realized. So it was a complicated experience, and I tried to always be present, to be grateful and appreciate the moment. And somebody said to me, well, it was a shame you couldn't enjoy that. And I said, well, I did, in the sense that, again, I consider myself an artist, and I created something nice and people appreciated it. And that's enough, I just have to know that that's enough. That's, just like I told you earlier, what was my contract with myself? My contract was that I would be an artist, and anything beyond that is a bonus. And if I remind myself of that, and I keep myself grounded in that, and I know that people appreciate it, and I look at that enthusiasm and hyperbole as an expression of their experience, then it's still gratifying. I'm humbled. I'm glad. I mean, it's, all our projects don't mean that much to people, and it's nice, I mean, it's nice if I create something and it's meaningful to me. like those guys who did all those Bugs Bunny cartoons, the Chuck Jones, he said, we weren't trying to make them for kids. We made them for ourselves. And they found an audience on Saturday mornings and people thought they were kids shows, and same thing with this. I mean, when I'm behind the camera, I'm not thinking about you or those Netflix viewers. I'm like, what do I like? I mean, what do I think is pretty? And I believe that the director and the producers and Netflix, are trusting my aesthetic because I've demonstrated it. And so I'm just doing that aesthetic. I mean, if somebody specifically said, oh, I want a hair light or I want this shadow, I would create that. But one of the things I do take as a compliment is I very seldom have people tell me to change stuff. I just do what I want. I do what feels right, and then they're happy. So that's my experience with the movie. Maybe a little more complicated than you were expecting.
No, it's really interesting. Someone once told me this advice in relation to something similar. What goes up must come down.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because I was literally thinking about that last night. So maybe I don't know, it's just weird. But there's a lot to that. And that's not to negate good things happening.
Yeah.
But knowing that at some point it will come down and to not be devastated by that.
Well, and the higher you go, the further you have to fall. I really was cognizant of that. I was like, oh my God, this is huge. And if I write it, it's, oh my God, I'm just gonna be shattered. So I didn't emotionally. Again, I reconnected with the reason I did it. I didn't do it for accolades. I mean, it would be nice strategically if somebody wants to hire me for something and I get some really cool jobs and clients, because again, that's just more creative gratification and working with cool people and doing nice things that hopefully people will enjoy, but it's a means to an end. The adulation in and of itself is uncomfortable to me.
How did you find out that the film was #1 on Netflix?
I think Sean texted me, the director. It was either that or I saw a Facebook or an Instagram post, but I'm pretty sure he texted me. We were all in shock. Look, we knew it was a fun little movie, but it was a little movie. It was a little, cute little thing that we did. And all of us have been involved in stuff that going into it seemed like a bigger project, if that makes sense. We just thought this was a little bitty sweet Christmas movie. And, the fact that it just... I mean, my God, it was #1 in the world for 8 days. I was looking at individual countries. I had friends in France and the Philippines and Canada and England and Wales and Colombia and Brazil. And they're like, oh my God, we saw your movie. We love your movie. I'm just like, oh, wow, I've never had that. I've never had a simultaneous global release ever. Never. I mean, maybe those music videos, but that was 15 years ago and the internet didn't exist in the same way it does now. It's just, oh my God. I just like all these people talking about it and loving it and wishing me well. And I mean, there's somebody in the Philippines, somebody in Russia is watching my movie and they're liking it. And it's like, well, you really can't hope for more than that. I mean, I was looking at those charts and we were above both Grinch movies. We were above Jim Carrey. We were above the animated Grinch movie. We were above like literally all this other stuff. When I looked at the rate rankings, California Christmas was number 13 for the entire year of 2020 over all other genres of movies. And that's only more incredible when you consider it was only in release for 2 weeks. A 26th of the year. And it was number 13. Our little teeny tiny movie. Over all the George Clooney's and Jennifer Anistons and, wow, that's cool. And I'm glad. More than getting full of myself, I'm glad people enjoyed it. I'm glad that it was a part of their Christmas, especially now when so many people are having a hard time. I'm glad that it was a distraction. I'm glad it made them smile.